LMS is a new concept that we actually brought to the market. It's really higher-end logistics services linked to manufacturing.
We've said, well, let's not look at this as a standard 3PL. Let's look at this as if we're a manufacturer. And let's treat all our facilities as factories. It really fits in well with fast-moving, dynamic supply chains, so it lends itself towards the electronics industry, for example.
In LMS, you actually configure units, so you're actually physically adding value within the warehouse.
We're trying to bridge the gap between logistics and manufacturing and offer those services that complement manufacturing.
The main focus is to understand what the customer needs, how they sell, how they plan their sales, and what they need for their customer.
One thing I think that it's very important is the customer must be open to the situation. And ourselves, as well as a logistics provider, understand their concept, and we try to translate it into a solution.
We see product that's time critical, we see product that's changing continuously, and therefore it becomes important that we move the product through the supply chain very, very quickly. And that's really about asset velocity. We are positioned better than some of our competitors because we have the freight forwarding and we have the global footprint blue chip customer base with no baggage.
If you look at Panalpina, we have the right locations and many countries. So we can actually take advantage and configure the goods before we send directly to the customer. The main benefits as such for the customers is really better cash flow management. Also allows you to take a smaller group of parts and make more variation to suit demand. And also we're in the digital age. People see it and they want it, and it allows you to configure it as close as possible to the customer.
That means that we can bring a new product in, and the old product we can phase out. We can monitor at all stages of the assembly activity exactly what components are going into the manufactured product.
The warehouse here is divided in two big warehouses. One is where the production line stays. So we receive the raw material, we check the quality and quantity in the inbound process, we store it. And then we have 5 flows.
The different areas that we manage on the shop floor are the big parts, where we have all the towers, antennas, etc., etc. Then we have area where we manage parts by boxes, which we name supermarket, and that's the area where we have all the material available for picking on a box level. And then we have another area where we manage material by piece, and there we use pick to light. The last area for the material stream, it's the cables, where we have measurement and cutting of the cables to specification. And then the actual final assembly process happens ESD, protected area, where we build the actual cabinet, and after that all is packed and shipped.
One of the challenges is to synchronize the areas, because all the materials should be ready together.
So our first big step was to work together with the customer and establish the minimum standards to have an equal distribution and a continuous flow inside the operation.
To keep the efficiency high with this, let's say 5, 7, 10,000 orders per day, we are in charge to manage also the quality. So for the people was a very big learning that if they see a quality issue, they're allowed to stop manufacturing.
We needed people to do everything. So first of all, people should be trained. The communication is very important, as we are inside of the customer plant, so we need to align with them everything that will be done.
It requires extensive knowledge on the system and development on the system on a daily basis.
Panalpina developed a special tool that will be combined and integrated to our warehousing management system.
As more and more product enters the market, enters the channel, is always the reverse logistics and the repair loop. If you're left with yesterday's components, they're no good.
We receive what we call the reverse logistics orders to disassemble the product. And then we return the pieces that can be reused in new orders to the regular stock of the SKD process, and they enter in the flow again as regular. The parts that cannot be reused are scrapped or returned to China according to the customer's instructions.
So that means, if you look at it from a customer perspective, They can keep their products in a semi-knockdown or complete knockdown state, which means they haven't added the value to it, so therefore the working capital is much lower. It also means that the postponement activity, last minute, so it's the last touch before it's shipped to the customer.
I think the reason that we're successful with it is the fact we've recognised it's not logistics, it's not manufacturing, and we've adopted our management approach to deliver the best service that we can.
We were able to provide them a solution and showing them that only one company and only one team will manage the whole operation.
Each month we are increasing the performance, we are reaching the target, and this is so important to us and to motivate people to go ahead with the things they need to do.
Now with the LMS we can tell to the whole globe that we are really adding value to their operation.
For one particular customer, we've reduced their supply chain from 90 days to 20 days.
We have a global network that offers value-added services and value-added solutions to our customers. That is a differentiator, and that's something that we're offering.